We are live. Hey, you know what? We're live on Twitter. It looks like. I think it worked.
We made it.
I think it worked.
Okay.
So I think the cyber attack of 108 Tourney is over.
Broke it.
Now they can regroup and be back online. So
I just retweeted it. Beautiful. It is alive. Love it.
Nice.
I can't believe it. I'm so proud of Elon for getting it back up and running.
We almost ruined it for him. The 108 Tourney almost ruined it for Elon, but now he's back. So
I'm sure Trump will get the first thank you for fixing Twitter to get this all back up and ready to go. I mean, X and ready to go.
We're sorry to go live like right in the middle of the bum show, but I was watching. They're just finishing up with their ad reads right now, so like they'll be on the Bears topic when we're done. So don't worry, get back to them.
jump back over. Yeah,
Beef. Why don't you lay it out for us? What happened today?
Let's do it, man. Let's start in that classic view region, and as you know, we have three-way matchups. And the first one that I'm gonna highlight is Brian Malone versus Sammy Davis Jr. 5K versus Eberflushed. And one thing I didn't know about the Eberflushed was that Ken W. pointed out that this gentleman was an old Southside Sox person. So
wow.
That surprised me. I did not know that. I just know we were mutuals, and I thought, okay, put this person in there. And this one never close all day. Sammy Davis Jr. 5K, 46%, Brian Malone 34%, Eberflushed 20%. Sammy Davis Jr. 5K will move along to meet up with a dear old friend of his, Missy Carroll. Sliding down to the next grouping. This is group 4, and the winner goes on to meet Altrude on Wednesday. Sean Jankowski was up in the comments in this all Iowa matchup when we released it on the 108 Tourney bracket reveal show, and he said, I'm the only one from Iowa. I should win this matchup. And guess what? He did. He went out there and whooped that ass.
Whooped it.
51% for Sean, with only 27% for Sean Roberts and 22% for Sox. I saw Sean Roberts, who has a popular radio station in Des Moines, tweeted out there, and he said, I know all you people are tired of me talking about the White Sox. If you vote me to a win, I won't talk about the White Sox for a week. Guess what, motherfuckers in Des Moines? You're going to be hearing a lot of White Sox.
More White Sox talk.
Whooped that ass. Sean Jankowski will move on to meet Alex Rude. That's the tough matchup in round 2.
The nicest guy on White Sox Twitter versus the meanest. I like it.
Yeah, if there's someone I don't want to cross, it's Alex Rude. You're 100% correct about that. Flipping over to the other side in group 3, it was Mailman Jack versus Mallory Mecklenburg and Kate Steensma, 2 newcomers. And Mailman Jack, he's got the pedigree, man. He's been here for a while. And I mentioned when I was selecting the field and I was doing some videos or whatever, I said it's not a lot of 50-somethings that can come out here and get it done. I didn't mean Mailman Jack. He can get the shit done. He has gotten the shit done in this tournament a lot, and he cruises to a victory here. 73%, Mallory with 14%, Kate with 13%.
I got my eyes on that next matchup. Artie versus Mailman Jack. That's gonna be good because I think the people that love them equally. So I think it's gonna be a lot of people like not telling who they voted for. I think you should have some balls and tell who you voted for out of the 2 of them.
I would love to see that. I would love to see people say who you voted for in that matchup because Mailman Jack versus Artie on Wednesday is going to be great. And Artie was out there videoing saying he's not going to show Hog. Guess what, Artie? You might need Hog to get out of this first fucking round. All right, when you got to face Mailman Jack. Last matchup. Go ahead.
If you're thinking about that one though, one thing to keep in mind: Mailman Jack can affect your postal delivery.
Yes, sir.
Artie can affect your Venmo. So choose wisely. Yes. Choose wisely out there.
And potentially your drugs. All right. And the last matchup, group 2 in this region, in that classic view region, was the Gazoo Pervert. And that's the artist formerly known as Crappy Oats. I don't know if you guys knew that. My stocks were Treasy, but
I did.
Adam, long time guy. Joe Latham and Kobe's Burner. Now, Kobe's Burner, as much as I love him, I know you guys love him too, is one of the biggest penises on this website. And all day he was telling people to vote for the other guys. So, of course, he wins, cruises to victory. 47% for Kobe's Burner, 30% for Joe Latham, only 23% for the artist formerly known as Crappy Oats. Kobe's Burner will face Brian Knights on Wednesday. Boys, love to hear a breakdown of any and all of these matchups.
So I think Kobe's Burner appeals to people because he's super angry about everything. Yeah. And he's got a huge opinion on everything. And that's pretty much like everybody else on Twitter. So, like, I think they gravitate towards him similar to them.
Yeah, I thought the Kobe going into the Bears Twitter is probably helpful. He's only ranted about the Bears for like the last 2 years, solid. Like he's kind of stayed away from White Sox stuff. Some people, he probably hasn't pissed off enough people recently in White Sox Twitter, so he could carry this victory today. I want to go over to the Brian Malone, Sammy Davis Jr. and Eber.
Yeah, please do.
I thought Brian Malone, and this was his first time in the tournament, right? Well,
yes, sir. Yep.
He had a great freshman run of like just like content. He started like 2 days ago and pumped a lot of shit out there. Used everything he had available to him to try to win, and it's just it's unfortunate because people just want to see the blood between Missy and Sammy. So
yeah,
Brian, you had a tournament. I know you didn't even win, but like still, you put out really good content, and that's the way you usually carry a victory. So good job.
He should have went to the stories about that day with that Guardians lady way earlier. Like that narrative, like just telling that story overall, that was a wild day. So I think that could have helped him a little bit. But I'm with you, MSS. People wanted that second round matchup.
Yep, they really did.
Question. All right, let's move on to the Whiskey Gotcha region. And the Whiskey Gotcha region features a lot of 11th warders. And so let's start in group 1 here, where we had Nicholas Epstein, Denny Richter, and Greg Ryan. Now, Greg Ryan was a Treasy special. Treasy, you're a fan. You're like, get this man in here. He did good. He had some good content. I enjoyed him. I've enjoyed him since I started following him, but not enough today. Denny Richter had a cool video where he did the Napoleon Dynamite, where he did some stuff over it.
That was good. Yeah.
I think that kind of sealed it for him. He had 47%, Greg Ryan 28%, and Nicholas Epstein only 25%.
I think the Epstein last name killed him. I mean, it
doesn't help.
Doesn't help at all. Once you see that, it's like Cosby. You're like, no, I got to get away from this. Soon to be, Puff Daddy. Anyway, said Natty, you got to get that. So,
yeah. Well, there's no one who has the last name Cosby in Sox Twitter at this point. Probably a good thing. Probably would just stay that way. All right, moving down to group 4, and group 4 had some people that are veterans of this tournament. Sockside Pride, who I think has been in this tournament 6 times at this point out of the 8 years. Jennifer S., who we've known for forever, big time White Sox fan. And then a little newer comer, but Todd Hito's been in the tournament, I think, 3 times as well. So this is like completely veteran laden. And Sockside Pride pretty much cruised all day. 43%. Jennifer and Todd Hito both at 28.5%. So nice work by the veteran Sockside Pride to get through.
Yeah, no, that was cool. Tadahito in making Jake come out and play his saxophone and do a Ferris Bueller riff was great. It didn't work, but it was a great call. Good job, Jake. We love you. Tadahito, hey, we'll think about if we love you.
It was great for all of us. Because we all get to ingest no matter what, no matter who wins, we get to ingest all this great content. So it's good. I forgot to mention that Denny Richter moves on to face number 1 seed Bob Tolan. And Sockside Pride will move on to Wednesday to face Pinols. And so there's 2 OGs of the tournament facing off on Wednesday. Now let's pop over to group 3 in the Whiskey Gotcha region. And this has Brandon DeJesus, Billy Wires 1000, and John Carney. And speaking of huge penises on the internet, Billy Wires, maybe as big a penis as Kobe's burner, maybe not, maybe similar size, uncut, I'm not sure. He was also telling others to vote for his opponents and not for him. And of course, he won easily. Landslide victory, 56% for Billy Wires 1000, 23% for Brandon DeJesus, 22% for John Carney. And Billy will move on to face John Walker III on Wednesday. And closing out this group number 2 of the Whiskey Gotcha region had 3 11th Ward folks in it. Small mid-cap, Wilbur Paxelli, who owns a law firm, and a sentimental favorite, Bert Ferkel. He's a recent divorcee. And Bert comes home with a win, 48%, and small cap 27%. Wilbur Paxelli just 25%. So Bert Ferkel's going to move on to face Ricky Shifter. Boys, your thoughts on the Whiskey Gotcha region?
All right, the Bert Ferkel name is just one of my favorites. I love it. I love saying it.
And the way he responds on Twitter, Bert here.
Yeah.
I love that.
Recent divorcee. That was good. That was really good.
I think I would have really enjoyed anyone getting out of like whoever won the Sockside Pride Jennifer S. Tadahito matchup. I would have been happy about any of them. Super happy for Pat getting through. He's a long time guy. He's a true OG of 108 stuff. So
really is.
It was awesome to see him get through. Billy Wires. I mean,
fuck that guy.
I love the amount of votes that him and Sammy Davis Jr. 5,000 got today.
Yep.
It's just there's a lot of weirdos out there that love it. That's what I'm telling you.
Those guys are assholes, and then they get 1 million votes. Like, okay, yeah, I see how you guys do this.
The last thing I'll say is that the 11th Ward guys are going to start now going up against other people. They're going to have to start competing against, like actual, other humans, not just the 11th Ward guys. And if they want my votes, I need to see some ticket stubs for the opening day eve. All right, those motherfuckers.
Attaboy. Hell yeah.
They better show up. They better show up in their own ward. They're big
around.
Ward guys.
Yeah.
They're big Ward guys.
Absolutely.
I don't. We'll see.
Hey, Nicole Lee
we'll
almost came last year, and then these guys, they're not going to come. And what's going on? What's that all about?
I know who I'm voting for. I know who I'm voting for.
They were big Tony guys, though. They were big Tony guys. They're not a Nicole fan, apparently.
No,
so
I know them.
We'll get Chervino up there. We'll get him up there, and then they have no excuse.
Get him up there like his banners that are still everywhere in Bridgeport.
I think Slim Mick got him got Chervino a ticket, so I think we're good.
I think that's right. Yeah, I think he's putting him in there. So you're 100% right. MSS, anything else to add from this group, or do we want to move on?
No, I'm kind of disappointed that John Carney didn't win, or Brandon. Definitely not happy that Billy Wires moves on. I just want to make sure that I've said that
crystal clear
on the record.
I'm glad you made that well known. All right, let's move on to the Sunday Soak region.
Wow.
And Group 1 featured Julie Swyka, longtime 6'7" to score, and she's been on the Au Jus recently and hung out a little bit at some Sox stuff. Willie P, who's been a longtime favorite on Sox Twitter, and then Bisa, the kid prodigy. Quite a group right here. This one stayed really close all day. Willie P and Julie Swyka were very tight, but in the end, Willie P pushes ahead 40% of the vote to Julie's 35%, 25% for Bison. So Willie P gets to move on to Wednesday and face Maddie Spagnola, which is a frightening matchup.
Yeah. That's a death sentence.
You get the joy of the victory, and then the number one seed in the entire tournament is just waiting for you right there.
Just hope that Elon's ex shuts down again and just deletes Maddie's account, and then maybe Willie P, you will win and move on to the next round.
Probably not, but anyway.
But that probably won't happen.
In the next matchup, Group 4, we had Alina Trainwreck Megan, who was her first time in the tournament, and she was appreciative of such and put up a bunch of pictures that she had taken. It was pretty cool. And then Ray the Barber, longtime guy as well. And this one stayed close for a while too, but Alina ended up pulling ahead later on in the day, 38%. Trainwreck Megan, 34%. Ray the Barber, 28%. So Alina moves on to face Dougie Freshness on Wednesday, who's the number 4 seed. That should be an interesting matchup because Alina has pulled quite a bit of votes in this tournament in the past. Dougie's been a mainstay, but Dougie got knocked out in round 1 last year. So it's interesting to see what's going to end up happening there. Guys, any thoughts?
We'll get to it. Just run through them.
Keep
we'll
going.
get it at the end.
I fucked you up.
I like the pace you got going. I like the pace
Beautiful.
you got going.
Group 3 featured a guy who got in on the strength of his charitableness. That's right.
Yes.
Schloss Pappy.
Yes.
He was kind of on my borderline, and then he made a great contribution when we did the 108 Tourney Celebrity charity tournament. And so we were like, well, he's making those contributions. Just throw him in here. And he faced off against Taco Gladiator and Shigerian Prince, who's also a long-time 108, long-time One Sox Twitter guy. And although Schloss Pappy turned out the content in a beautiful way, he got clobbered in this one. Only 20% of the votes. Taco Gladiator, 41%. Shigerian Prince, 39%. So Jer, Taco Gladiator, moves on Wednesday to face Laura, the 3 seed. And then finally, in Group 2, this is the group that I screwed up on the opening night. I did not have Wendell in here. Fucked that up entirely. I'm sorry about that, Wendell. I hope that didn't affect your voter count because it wasn't good in this one. It was Wendell, Tania, and Jerry O'Sullivan. Jerry O'Sullivan and Tania were going back and forth all the way until the final seconds of this thing. I was watching with like 7 minutes to go. They were like a half point off. Tania ends up pulling out in the end, 42% to 41% for Jerry, only 17% for Wendell, a longtime guy, big fan of Wendell. But Tania will move on to round 2 on Wednesday and face Shy Sox fan Mike. Another daunting matchup there.
That's a tough one. Let's get a drink here from Jerry O'Sullivan. He says, "Congrats, Tania. Go slay against Shy Sox Mike." Cheers.
Oh, what?
Thanks,
classy guy. Classy guy.
Boys, your thoughts on this bracket?
My Sox Summer, any thoughts on that Tania Jerry O'Sullivan
matchup?
Oh
my God. The campaign that she ran, the smear campaign that she ran against your boy, My Sox Summer,
unreal.
Made me go back into the archives of all of the times that we've tried to satisfy our female buyer in buying different things. Going all the way back to when I first created the Wave Suck shirt. I got a baby doll version made for the women. They didn't like that baby doll style. They said it's too small. The arms are too small. So what do? We went to the 108ing baby girl tee. They did not like that one either. So we just stopped making baby doll tees. Then we came out with the 90s logo. We did a second or a third style of baby doll tee that did not sell. And then we did a racerback tank that also did not sell in that group. So now I'm a man, surrounded by women, but I'm a man. So I'm like, I need to reach out to somebody that is a female and say, what should we order? So we ordered up tank tops and shirts on the advice of Bobbles Jim or Gobbles Jim, if you're an OG guy. And his wife, and she said, this is the kind of tank I want. And so I bought blue, black, and white versions of these tanks and t-shirts, and Bobbles Jim totally unfollowed us, and she never bought any of the shirts. So we had stuff picked out by a woman and made available to women. They did not sell. No one wanted those. And then just most recently, we did the Nashville Sox one. We had Missy and Alexis pick out the shirts that they liked, put them up for sale. I don't think we sold 7 of them. I think we sold 6. So women bought the shirt. They liked the Nashville Sox design, but they bought the men's shirts. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Hey, Jacob, you watch your mouth. Watch your mouth, buddy. It's a very long story.
Coming up in the clutch.
3, 4,
it could have been shorter.
5, 6, 7 times we've tried to do this, and it has worked 0 times. 7. We're 0-7 for women's shirts. So
you could have just said that. All right.
No, so, I want to tell everybody. No.
The Julie Willie Bison matchup. I thought Willie. I'm happy to see Willie come out of there. Where the fuck were all the score people for Julie?
I don't know. That's a good question. I'm not sure.
I was a little disappointed in them. And Taco Gladiator and Shigerian Prince, that's a battle. That was quite a battle.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I'm interested to see how much juice Jair's got in this one. I'm interested to see him second round, how that goes.
I had that threesome circled as my fight of the night. They do that in UFC. That was my favorite matchup. Those 3 guys, they brought it today, and I appreciate that. One. So yeah, that would have been my fight of the night.
Absolutely.
Is that short enough for everybody? You can go fuck off.
Let's move on to the White Sox Dave region, where we only have half matchups here. This one and also the 108 region are just half matchups, so we'll get to this quickly. Group 1, Elijah Evans and Not Cease, both from Future Sox, going against BZ from Sox on Tap. This was a tight match all day, including
it was
going back and forth in the final hour there. But in the end, Not Cease holds on. 36%, BZ 35%, and Elijah Evans 29%. BZ is a great follow, but tough man, the young kids, they brought it. They came with it, and Not Cease gets by him. And Not Cease is going to have the chance to face off with Courtney Finicum, number 1 seed in this region, on Wednesday. That's a very tough matchup to go to. And then Group 4, Nicole Wrights, who's the editor-in-chief at Sox on 35th, against Sox Mom 72, as well as Xavier Sanchez. And Sox Mom 72 in the route, 58%. Xavier Sanchez 27%, Nicole 15%. Soxmon 72 faces off on Wednesday with Chris Lanuti. That should be an interesting matchup.
I think she could beat Lanuti. I think she could beat Lanuti after showing today. I think she could beat Lanuti. I have a question for you guys on BZ.
Yeah,
he barely lost, just by the skin of his teeth. He lost that matchup. Is it because NWI Steve is no longer on Twitter, or is it because Tony on Tap has the 108 tourney muted? Which one hurt him more?
It's Tony on Tap. He could have let all the on tap shows loose and gotten him the extra 8 votes or whatever it was he needed to win this, but he didn't. Tony's Tony. We've known Tony a long time. Very anti 108 tourney, so I'm sure he didn't try to help.
I thought, Chirizi, when you said that you had a reason why BZ lost, I thought it was because he had buffalo wings and he's in the great state of Texas. You know, Texas is definitely known for their buffalo wings, so I understand why you would get those when you're there instead of like barbecue or anything else. But yeah, good call. I thought that was why you lost, but apparently not.
Before we get to the next region, let's get this drink from Vino. He says, "Thanks for getting us riled up about baseball season again, boys. Cheers, Vino."
Bless you, Vino. Thank you.
Cheers.
All right. And the last region worth of results, boys, is the 108 region, just half. So we'll be on the right-hand side of the bracket for those who are watching on YouTube. Katie Thomas went against B-Raw, and this one was never close. Katie Thomas easily gets by B-Raw, 67% to 33%. And a nail-biter all the way down, all the way to the ass end. Jovan versus Jacob Shiner, and Jacob Shiner sneaks this one out, 51% to 49%. To move on, and Jacob Shiner will move on to face Katie Thomas on Wednesday. And the last 2 matchups we'll preview today. J Money High Tech, who I enjoy following J Money very much. Talks good baseball against Nicole Page. People are like, who are Nicole Page? You guys, I don't know if you remember this, but White Sox Dave lost his wallet at a Sox game like two years ago. Nicole Page is the one who found it. I remember seeing that on Twitter, and I immediately followed and followed her, and she's a big Sox fan, so I was like, we're going to get her in this tournament. And she whooped J Money High Tech's ass, 71% to 29%, moving on to Wednesday. Closing this group out, Jean Paul Kelly against Francisco Barrios' Burner. I labeled this as the 2 grumpiest assholes in the entire tournament going against each other. And it's funny. Well, obviously, we know both these guys from in person. Francisco's Barrios Burner reached out and was very thankful. He said, "Thank you guys for thinking of him and including him." And he wins. He gets by Jean Paul Kelly, 58% to 42%. Boys, your thoughts on the 4 matchups here?
Man, Gene's gonna be even more unsufferable now. He's just going to be so mean to me. He's going to point out the fact that I'm friends with Brooks Boyer even more. I don't even know if that's possible, but he's going to try. So sorry, Gene, that you lost. I voted for you, and I'll even tweet it if Twitter's working. Maybe J Money High Tech should have got more votes. I did not vote for Jacob Shiner, and I'm glad I didn't because he gave me some really nice bad advice here in the comments. Told me to hurry up my story. I
thought maybe you gave him some bad tax advice. I know he's a tax.
No, I thought that too. I should have sent him some stuff. And then go Katie. B-Raw. I saw Sox Optimus thing against B-Raw and was like, wait a minute, is this the guy that did such and such? And I was like, oh my God, like how deep it ran deep. So yeah, what a fun time. What about you, Treasy?
Let's get a drink here from Melissa. She says, I've got all kinds of fun coming on Wednesday. All right.
Nice.
Awesome.
So I think that's going to be a good matchup.
Yeah, Sox Mom's got it, I think, man. She's good.
My quick thoughts, B-Raw was, promising that he was going to bring it if you let him in the tournament, Beef. He did not bring it. It was not brought.
It was left unbrought.
It was left unbrought.
Yep.
Jacob, I mean, sometimes the Star Wars shit gets you through the narrowest margins. So I'm feeling the Star Wars stuff. And then the Francisco Barrios Burner. I'm interested to see what he does after a win. Like what he follows up with. And if he just, like every once in a while he'll do a video. And I didn't see a lot of videos from him today. Maybe I missed them.
I didn't.
But like I feel like he's got that in him. We'll see what he comes with.
Nice, awesome. I love it. Now, my Sox Summer. We run a commercial and then we'll rip tomorrow's matchups quick before we get to the 9 o'clock hour.
Absolutely. Here we go.
Fish fry Fridays in the Windy City. Hey.
All right, that was too long. Let's do this.
One of these things is not like the others. One of these things doesn't belong. Can you tell which thing is not like the other by the time I finish this song?
That's much better.
Teresa, you want to get those drinks before I rip these?
Absolutely. We got one from Jen. She says, "Thanks for having me in the tourney. Noah's asleep, of course."
Of course he is.
Are you guys at? I'm sure.
Are you out? No, are you out at the bar?
I imagine I'm asleep at the table. Yeah, that's a good call, Teresa.
And Paul says, "Keep up the great work, gentlemen." Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Paul. Bless you. All right, beautiful. All right, very quickly, let's hit tomorrow's matchups. This is in the White Sox Day region. Only half of it is going. Group 3 is Todd Welter, Sean Anderson, and Chris Gonzalez. They'll go against each other. The winner will get Jordan Lazowski on Thursday. And Group 2 is going to be Slavko Bekovic, Winkle Jones, Tori Rubenstein, and the winner on Thursday will get Ryan McGuffey. In the 108 region, we have a number 1 seed, John Nava, going against Sox Girl MG. We got Trey Williams and Trevor Smith, high-profile matchup going there. Jackie Treehorn will face off against Sammy White Sox, and Kate Dunlap against John Cocktoston. That is the 108 region, closes that group out. In the Wave Sox region, Group 1, and the winner will face Gabriel Bearstown on Thursday. That's Julian, 49-48, Dr. Ducky, and White Sox Matt. Group 4 will face the estranged Matt Crawford on Thursday. The winner here will be Jay Cesar Targaryen, Huckleberry, and Stone Cold Nick. Flipping to the other side in Group 3, and the winner will face Kent Dice on Thursday. Hannah LaMotta, Jeff Bartlett, and Jackie Bieber's got Swaggy. And finally, Group 2, Barry Bag of Donuts, Scott Garcia, and White Sox Girl. The winner of that group will face Sox Optimist on Thursday. Jumping down to the Summer of George region, Group 1 is Southside Bum, Colleen Carmody, and Joey P. And the winner will get Bologna on Thursday. Group 4, Senor Sox, Dan Reyes, Tina Willis. And the winner of that group is going to face off with HBIC on this coming Thursday. Group 3 is Jared Ingersoll, Jacqueline Hilligoss, and Husky Bardo. And they'll face, the winner of that will face Shannon on Thursday. And finally, Group 2, Ian's Arena, Turkey Fonseca, and Vino. And the winner of that group is going to face What's Up Lizard, Liz, on Thursday. Closing it out, the Alley White Sox region, Group 1. Brett Hafner, name spelled wrong. James Tech Vomit, and Kevin Bell's raggedy ass batting glove, who's put out a shit ton of content already. The winner of that one will face the number 1 seed, Alexis Lopez. Group 4, Carolyn Jane, the newly minted Dominic Lipka, and White Sox Suze. The winner of that is going to face the number 4 seed, Sam Reeves, on Thursday. Group 3, Kay Neely, Rich Bissett, and Stephanie Swyka. And the winner of that group will face the number 3 seed, Little Tina, this coming Thursday. And finally, closing this out, tomorrow's matchups is Group 2 in Alley White Sox region, Losing Ugly, English Sox Colin, and SPF. The winner of this group, not guaranteed to piss on a picture of Ken W.O., but will face Ken W.O. on Thursday, the number 2 seed.
Maybe they can just piss on Ken W.O.
Oh, yeah. You got to find him.
It was a great first day in a one-way tourney. I hope we had as much chaos without Twitter dying as we had today. It was excellent content and matchups by everybody.
Awesome. That's it. Let's get out of here. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.